Hi everybody. When we reviewed Champions of Midgard, I mentioned that they had a new Kickstarter going on, and I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about what they have planned. The Dark Mountain expansion features a fifth player, new leader, Burgessar enemies, 24 new enemy cards, a new destiny card, 5 new rune cards, archers with archer dice, land journey cards, expanded market boards, and market stalls. So let's take a look. First of all, by overwhelming demand, Gray Fox is adding a fifth player. And this fifth player, they have 5 worker pawns that they put out in the Kickstarter where they've had people vote on a color. And one of their stretch goals was another alternative color, 6th color, for colorblind friendly, and so that has been reached. So most of the action takes place on the Dark Mountain board. So the Dark Mountain board basically consists of 2 spaces that players can go to where they can fight different Burgessars. I don't know how to pronounce that word. And so when they go to these places, they will have to flip out a land journey card, much like a journey card that the players do when they take a voyage on the ocean. This will be a land journey card. And these might be some examples of what you might find in the land journey cards. So you can see here that we have an avalanche where you lose a warrior that you're taking with you, or you can pay 1 coin to hire a Viking warrior of your choice to add to the party. Or you might have to pay coins to hire a guide or give up to go before you could actually fight the Burgessar. So these are some examples that they've given us in the rule book. So combat with the Burgessar is like combat in Champions of Midgard, where you have a defense value you must exceed. Now the interesting thing against the Burgessar is that when you defeat this enemy, you can win archer dice. And the archer dice are pretty cool. They're new units that you can get to help in your fight. And they have a 50% chance to double food when hunting. Another thing this expansion is going to bring is new enemies to fight. And there are actually 24 of them. There could be troll kings, or draugrs, or loot hoarders, or vile priests, dark shamans, cave dwellers, rock dwellers. And here's a quick look at what some of them do. Vile priests can actually heal themselves. The dark shaman can use its magic to kill, and shields are useless against the monster. Rock creatures, well, these seem pretty powerful. Stone is mighty, and these beasts have no love of the weak. Each round of combat, the rock creature slays any Viking warrior that rolls a blank. That's the monsters. There's an expanded market slot to allow some of the new market stalls to be placed. And there is 1 new leader, which you can see here. Now, some of the other things that have come out in the Kickstarter is that they have a new Viking ship that's going to be exclusive to the Kickstarter. The abilities haven't been released yet. Different colored Viking meeples for players, and some new monsters called Mistwalkers were unlocked. They know the expansion is going to be too big to fit with the regular box, and so the Kickstarter is going to come out with a new box that you can put the regular game plus the 2 expansions into 1 box. I also wanted to mention that they announced yesterday that they have a new goal and the ability to get a neoprene game mat. So this is like a mat made out of like a mouse pad that's going to be large enough that's going to contain all the boards from both the regular game and the expansion, and have it all laid out, which looks really nice. And going to be great if you play the game a lot. You don't have to worry about your board splitting. So now let's take a quick look at Valhalla. So the Valhalla expansion comes with leader dice, shield warrior dice, berserker dice. It's going to come with a Valhalla board. It's going to come with sacrifice tokens, some epic monsters, some extra destinies, and 2 new leaderboards. So what does all this mean? So let's take a quick look at the leader dice. The leader dice, every Viking leader now has a secondary ability that can be activated as a result of leadership. The leader dice may be used in Lost in Combat like any other die, and they show results of either 2 hammers, a single hammer, a blank, or a helmet. And when you roll a helmet while using your leader in combat, you immediately activate the ability on your leaderboard. So how do you get these dice? Well, at the beginning of the game you start with 1 die, and you can never have more than 1 die. But if you lose your die in combat, they can come back, and pretty much you would have to get those via some Valkyrie blessings, which is a new type of card added in this expansion. The other big rules addition in this expansion is something called sacrifice tokens. And these sacrifice tokens correspond to each of the various types of warrior dice in the game that you have. And these tokens represent the warriors who have died while you were questing. And so when you basically fight a combat and you lose a die in combat, you get a token that matches that die. Anytime you collect a sacrifice token, you may immediately spend collected sacrifice tokens, activating the effects of the Valhalla board, purchasing Valkyrie blessings, or defeating epic monsters. Valkyrie blessings are how Valkyries show their favor for Viking leaders who bravely lead their warriors to battle. Most of these just provide an instant effect, which grants the leader claiming the blessing resources, glory, extra Viking dice, or some sort of special benefit. So when you buy a Valkyrie blessing card, depending on which one you get, you might be allowed to get some of the berserker dice or shield warrior dice. And you can see pictures of them here. So the other major piece of the game that they've added is epic monsters. And epic monsters are basically defeated again by playing your sacrifice tokens. And each epic monster will have a list of a card cost of what the number of sacrifice tokens you will need to play to defeat that epic monster. And defeating that epic monster will give you a certain amount of glory immediately and some glory at the game end. And it might be, for example, in the rulebook they say an example of you get 4 glory per troll you've defeated at game end. So that's the gist of the Valhalla expansion. You basically send your warriors out to fight in the normal game. As they die, you get sacrifice tokens. You play the sacrifice tokens to buy blessings and or defeat epic monsters. So that's the expansions in a nutshell. They're currently at over $320,000 of backing, 4,600 backers, and they still have 12 days to go. The other thing I should mention about the Kickstarter is they have said that they have negotiated with an app development company to create a Champions of Midgard app. If they get a stretch goal of over $600,000, they will create a Champions of Midgard app with AI opponents that they will then put on the App Store. Backers of the Kickstarter will get this at a special price. They won't get the app free, but having this game come out on an iPad or Android device would just be great. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this review. It's a little bit different than what I normally do, but I did want to try and talk about this. It's something that I've backed and something I'm really looking forward to, and I hope you guys will back it as well. Thanks.